Hello guys and welcome to SteveKnows. I've got a ton of virtual reality news stories that I want to share with you today, such as Vive taking a new business approach that should affect all standalone virtual reality devices in the future that are using a Qualcomm chip. It's really impressive. I think it's actually quite a good idea and I can't wait to share it with you. We also have a breakdown of the new Star Wars game. What can we expect from the gameplay trailer that they've just released, because they've given away a bunch of clues and I can't wait to play the game October 2nd. And there's a bunch more here as well, so let's just get started. Let's start this off with Facebook Reality Labs, because they have just revealed a video clip of full body tracking, which they did show off last year around May 2019 as well, as it took into account the skeletal properties and the muscular formation of the body to create realistic movement and photorealistic avatar creation as well, as part of this research that's going on over at Facebook in their virtual reality research division. They are playing around with something called codec avatars, which is a digital representation of ourselves. We saw insight to this as well at OC6, but this is just a more up-to-date taste of what to expect, because that was a while ago now. So to create the codec avatars, at least for the face, they are using an add-on for their virtual reality headset that apparently contains 132 cameras, which will be picking up on your facial expressions and those nuances in your facial body language and creating an insane sense of presence. Can you imagine an online game where this is implemented? Just wow. And also the use cases of having this in enterprise. This is a big deal. So combining this body tracking with the codec avatars, this is a very powerful tool. They have said though that this technology is years away from being in our hands, but with how fast everything it moves these days, I'm fine with that. I'm really impressed and shocked to see this technology this well implemented, to see what's possible. I see it as a nice testament to all the hard work that's going on in the VR space and to the community for supporting this technology. I'm proud. So let's talk Star Wars now. You may already know of the amazing day that's coming, that's going to take place on October 22nd, when Star Wars fans and virtual reality lovers will get to play Squadrons, a space flight simulation game where you can fly an X-Wing or a TIE fighter. I am so pumped. I've wanted something like this since I first started playing virtual reality. It's just such an obvious kind of game for this platform. And if this game ends up getting YawVR support, which I know they're working on, this is going to be insane. I can't wait. So recently the gameplay trailer has dropped and it's shown off many things that we can expect from this game. Not only does it look like a stunning AAA virtual reality game, the visuals are amazing, but it also looks like it's going to contain strategic combat as the cockpit. We see a number of things in the ship. We see health, we see how fast we're going, the speed, we see the power consumption, all the power that's available, a radar, also components which differ per loadout. And there are also 4 classes: fighter, interceptor, support and bomber, with all differing abilities such as firepower, speed and toughness. So that's 8 different ships in total. The game will also have a single player mode, so you don't have to play multiplayer, and in this single player experience you will be alternating between sides, between the dark side and the light side, the rebellion, and you'll get to experience both sides of the conflict. Multiplayer will be 5 versus 5 with a variety of game modes like dogfight. This is just a simple team deathmatch, but fleet battles is an objective based mode where you'll be able to experience what it would actually be like to be in an X-Wing or a TIE fighter, undertaking a mission or an objective set by your leaders. It sounds amazing. There'll also be tons of customizations of the ship to make it your own, so not only cosmetic but also functional as well, and hopefully that doesn't mean EA implementing a pay-to-win scheme like before. But the icing on the cake is this is going to be cross-platform with virtual reality players and pancake players, so PC, PlayStation and Xbox all coming together to enjoy an epic Star Wars game. This one I want to touch on because it's something that has influenced how Apple is going to implement virtual reality, their pathway into VR, and I want to know what you would have preferred, or perhaps you can ask a family member who are not into virtual reality and get their opinion as well, because it's a pretty interesting one. And so it seems that Apple were in conflict against how they should design their VR AR headset. The initial idea was this, and I'm going to quote: Rockwell originally wanted the ship a powerful hub which would wirelessly stream content to the virtual reality headset, just like how PC VR and PlayStation VR works, just without a cable. The report claims that this console-like device resembles a small Mac. However, legendary Apple designer John Ive, who left the company in the summer of 2019, reportedly balked at the idea, instead suggesting the headset should contain the processing hardware on board like a standalone device headset powered by the Apple Series chipset that you see in the iPhones and the iPads. So the former option was eventually shot down, so no high-end wireless VR device. Instead, they're taking the standalone device unit, an all-in-one unit like they do with the Oculus Quest. And I get why they did this. The Quest has been very, very successful for the adoption of new virtual reality gamers due to its ease of use, the all-in-one system. And it's also portable. But I just found it very interesting that Apple are actually thinking about going this kind of traditional PC VR gaming route. So Virtual Desktop has an update that's now available on SideQuest that enables hand tracking capabilities for you to either control your desktop, whether it be media, or the Virtual Desktop application itself. So you'll be pinching your index finger and your thumb, and that is like a left click on the mouse or the trigger on the remote control, or the middle finger to the thumb, and that's going to be like a grip press or a right click on the remote. But what's great about this update is that the hand tracking translates to trigger and grip controls. So when you're using Oculus or Steam to play virtual reality games using Virtual Desktop, you're actually able to play certain games where you don't need to traverse with the use of these hand tracking capabilities to shoot and grab things. Although this is very, very limited, it's not very well fleshed out. It kind of works depending on what game you're playing. So if you own this app already and you have PC VR gaming, give this one a go. It definitely has a novelty to it. And I did do an entire video dedicated to this, playing a series of games to see how well it worked if you're interested. We have a new game coming, a virtual reality open world RPG game, and those words do not come out my mouth often enough in the virtual reality space, but we have a new trailer for a game that will satisfy retro gamer lovers that like old school styled RPGs with the fusion of modern day virtual reality gaming. This is called Stones of Harlath from Garage Collective. In this open world virtual reality game, you play a mage, so you're able to use magical abilities as well as melee combat. In the trailer, we see the player holding a book in their left hand, and this helps with casting spells, navigating menus, depending on what page of the book you're on. And I always really love this kind of seamless implementation of menus in virtual reality, because we don't get it in traditional games that often. I think this is a great one. Use this book to cast different spells, change your equipment, change your settings, navigation. That's something that's going to make me feel like an actual wizard. They describe the game as shipwrecked on a small island of Harlath. Players will adventure through an open world environment and multiple dungeons, battle foes, solve puzzles, and ultimately discover the nature of the curse that's looming over the island. And I really love the retro style look that it has. It's like I'm going to be living and playing an old school retro title that I played when I was younger. Yes, please. The trailer doesn't really give anything to us in terms of sound design though, other than just like loud, ominous music. So I'm interested to see how it looks when the correct audio is over the gameplay instead of this overarching music, because it will give me a better idea of what to expect. And this is coming out the end of 2020. I look forward to it. Now this is an interesting one. Qualcomm and Vive have partnered up for a new product offering called the Vive Wave platform that's available for any virtual reality or AR device that's powered by a Snapdragon chip. A while ago, Vive did say that they wanted to take a different direction, different avenues, and this may be one of them. The platform is going to provide hardware creators of virtual reality and augmented reality devices with an operating system and an ecosystem of applications ready to go. So this is going to reduce the barrier to entry for many people and would ensure customers get a consistent experience to some degree. And this is huge for consumerism, huge for adoption. YawVR had a great example to compare this to. So this is like the virtual reality equivalent to the Android operating system. All of the mobile phone devices that are using Android, it's going to be like that, but for VR. Google attempted this with the Daydream, but they've scrapped that now. Daydream is bye-bye, it's nothing now but a dream. This is a smart move from Vive. I'm really impressed, especially with the XR2 chip now being available, and we're going to see more and more players in the AR and VR space. Is this going to keep Vive in the game? Because the headset this generation just hasn't done so well. But they're also offering support for these hardware creators in making their product, which if you're a small startup, getting this kind of support is priceless. I'm really, really shocked to hear this move. I think it's smart. I think it's a great move for the company and also beneficial for hardware creators. But one thing that does worry me is that now they've reduced the barrier to entry and they've made it easier for people. Are we now going to get a flood of saturation? I don't know, but it is a concern of mine. It's already been adopted by Pico, IQIYO, the Shadow creator, and the DPVR headset. You may have heard this last year as well, because there was some buzz around it because they were going to support 5G wireless connectivity on the platform, but it's still yet to be popularized in the West. There is so much here, there is so much content in this article that we could talk about this for hours, so I'm just going to leave a link down below for you to check out. It goes into talking about APIs, gets all techie. It's a really, really great read, so enjoy. So that's it from me today, guys. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Please subscribe to the channel, support VR. I really, really appreciate it. Please stick around for next time so you don't miss out any of the latest and greatest games news and reviews. Thank you to my patrons, you absolute legends, and happy gaming, guys. Good day.